I've owned the Hultafors Abbey Forest axe for a couple of years now. It's done me very well. I've actually got no complaints with it whatsoever. It's something that I saw at the Bushcraft show maybe 2022, and I just fell in love with it really, and there's a reason why everyone uses them. I have recently just finished filming a short film for Forwood Forge in Somerset, and they gave me one of their Harrier axes as a thank you, and this was made during the process of filming, and I got to see it from material to the complete axe, and that was just an experience not everybody gets to have, and I feel incredibly lucky to have landed that gig. So the point of this video really is just to talk about the differences between the two axes, and they're both axes that I love. So I probably do have some bias because I've actually been to the forge and I've met the team and I've met everyone who's behind the creation of every single axe that you buy from them. However, I'm not here to slate Hultafors. I will continue to use it, same as I will continue to use this one, but now in comparison, this has a special meaning, and this is now just a cool tool. Hultafors has a really cool history dating back from 1697 in Sweden, and that's where their tools really began. So if we're talking about history, it's really going to take the cake. The handle is American hickory wood that has been treated with linseed oil, similar to this handle, which is ash but treated with boiled linseed oil, both of which have had more applied today, which is why they're looking so gorgeous. And I've left this untouched just so you can kind of see the difference in treating your wood, and just as a bit of a reminder to give your axe handle or any of your tools just a little bit of love. Now on to axe heads, starting with the Harrier. This is an E9 Scandinavian medium carbon steel with a carbon content of 0.5 to 0.6%, which holds a sharp edge whilst maintaining toughness to withstand shock during use. The large axe pole head here that you see is done deliberately. Now this is for use when hammering in your tent pegs or anything besides metal, obviously, which is not the case for this one. The Harrier also comes with a hand-stitched oak bark tanned leather sheath, bit of a mouthful I know, and this comes from the last oak bark tannery in the UK. The Abbey here is hand forged with Swedish steel and is done with a Scandinavian grind, much like this one. Now I could go into some real details about measurements and weight, but in reality they're pretty similar. When put next to each other, you can kind of see that the Abbey is longer but slightly thinner, and you have more of this bulge here, which is done deliberately with the Harrier, and that's for a natural stop, which I quite like. Not to say that I dislike this. I quite like the fact that you have a lanyard loop there. However, it hasn't been drilled properly. It's actually a bit rough. You can't see it right now, but it's not been drilled with care, I would say. And I think maybe that is the problem that I have with this axe, is the fact that it just kind of feels, it doesn't feel hand forged, is what I'm trying to say. It feels like it's mass produced, and maybe that's because I haven't visited the forge, whilst I have visited the forge at Forwood, so I can see every single process done, and I can speak to every single person that does each of the processes. Hey, maybe there's a factory tour in the future with Hultafors, but not that I think my opinion is going to change about Forwood Forge, because they near enough locally source everything. Still, you can understand, I think that's easily forgiven. There is a certain type of quality that is outsourced that I don't think you can really easily match in this country, but the wood is all English ash. The leather, as I've said, comes from the tannery. The handles are pre-cut by other companies within this country. I'll put it on the screen if I can remember. I can't off the top of my head. But same for the sheaths. They are pre-cut, and I believe that is done by Journeyman Outdoors. So everything is pretty much on the doorstep of the forge. It's all there, and it's all supporting the local economy. So I think that's another reason as to why I really buy into Forwood. I think most of you who are watching this already know about Hultafors, but for those of you that don't know about Forwood, I would check out their website and their social media, because they are really something different, and I feel like they are going to be the next big thing in the bushcraft world. They've only been going since, I think, March 2023 off the top of my head, and they are already taking the industry by storm. They had a very successful stand at the Bushcraft show where they were selling products and also doing workshops, which they sold out entirely, and they've been to other bushcraft events, but they are really becoming a household name, especially in the UK. I know there are a lot of big names using it. Like I said, TA Outdoors is a user of Forwood Forge axes, and in fact they actually make TA Outdoors' own axe, which I'm sure many of you have seen on his website and YouTube channel. Keep an eye out for Forwood Forge, because they are storming the market at the moment, and they are actually in the process of expanding their forge, where they'll have a split, an area where they will do their day-to-day work, and then an area for putting on workshops for anyone to do. It's worth checking out the website to see about booking onto a course, because they are incredibly talented and incredibly patient, especially to be working with me. I am really excited to go out on a camp with this. I'm going out on one this weekend with some friends for a catch up. I will be putting this axe to the test and really using it and abusing it. So I'm looking forward to that. But I have had a little play in the woods today, which you would have seen, and it's just incredible. It's so sharp, it's beautiful, it's made with love and talent, and I can't get enough of it. And you should really keep your eyes out, and Hultafors, watch your back.